So today we have the privilege of driving the Land Cruiser 300 ZX. As you can see, it's not a small car at all. I mean, the height of it is absolutely ridiculous. So we are going to be taking this for a drive. We're going to test out all the different driving modes, how comfortable it is, how quick it is for such a big car, and I think that's going to be super interesting. Of course, this video is going to be different to the last video. This one's more about comfort and technology as opposed to speed, but I'm super excited to drive it. Firstly, the car is currently idling and you can't hear a damn thing. You can speak as softly as you want and everyone will hear you. Everyone. Yeah, first drive in the Land Cruiser 300 ZX. We're just trying to get out of this driveway. I hope it has sensors. Perfect. Okay, so first things first, this thing is absolutely massive. I don't suggest getting one of these cars if you haven't driven a big car before, because goodness gracious, it feels like I'm driving a ship. It's so quiet. For a 3.5 litre V6 petrol, it is the most quiet car I've ever driven. Holy fuck. Sorry. Sorry. I just can't believe it. I can already feel why this car is the price that it is. And I haven't done anything. I didn't realize how amazing this car feels. I anticipated it, but I didn't expect it to be like this. This is ridiculous. This is the smoothest car I've ever driven. Like, the steering wheel feels like you're floating, like it's literally worth 2 fingers and 2 fingers. And this car is easily over like 2.5 to 3 tons. I'm nervous to go through any sort of a gate with it. Apart from it being amazing, seriously though, that I have to be super vigilant with this car. As comfortable as it is, I'm so nervous to drive it, because look at the size of the car. It's huge. Look at that. I don't know what they call it. I think they call it like a double bubble. Do they call it a double bubble sort of a bonnet? I'm sure I heard somebody say that. Okay, so we're just gonna do almost like a small acceleration test on the different modes. At the moment it's just sitting on comfort, which is really nice. And then, I mean, we're not going to go crazy, and then we're going to just change it. See, I don't know what normal is. If you've got comfort and then you've got normal. Okay, so this is normal. From a car that weighs as much as a house, there's a lot of torque. There's 600 Newton meters of torque in this car. But even still, it's so heavy. It should be so heavy. And you shouldn't feel acceleration like that. That is crazy. Don't be scared that there's a boat behind you. Okay, so we're gonna do the small acceleration test on the normal mode, standard mode. So we're off comfort. This is supposed to be normal. Okay, so that got to a fairly decent speed fairly quickly, and that's just the normal mode. Let's go to sport. It says sport S, and then there's a sport S plus, so I don't know if it's sport plus. Okay, so let's feel what sport feels like. Okay, I must say I didn't feel much of a difference. I don't know if you have to be more of like a lower speed rolling start. What? My face.
It was your tongue.
Was it out? Okay, so we're gonna test the Sport Plus mode at a lower speed, which is now. Okay, so Sport Plus, I think it's in, and we're going at 40 k's an hour. Let's see what it feels like. huge difference. That is actually crazy. For the size of car, in order for it to go that quickly, we currently have the lane assistant things on. Yes, it does come standard in a lot of cars. There's a lot of technology happening in the steering wheel. If we do veer off to one side, the steering wheel actually vibrates and gives you a bit of an indication that you are going too close or you might be on the line. How crazy is that?
That's insane.
Okay, let's just see if it does it now. Okay, so I'm gonna go slightly over to the right hand side. There, the car has just sent me back to the center of the lane, which is amazing. I do understand that it's not like overly new technology, but of course this needs to come standard in such a massive car, and this car obviously has all the bells and whistles necessary for that. Okay, so when you hit one of these solid lines, of course I'm doing it on purpose now. I'm just coming slightly closer than necessary to one of the white solid lines. So for example, now it's on the right hand side. Okay, so now it's trying to fight me back, obviously to put me back into the lane. If you do carry on the lane for too long or longer than anticipated, the right line on the heads up display flashes yellow, and it works in unison with the steering wheel vibrating. So it's there to show you and indicate to you, you need to get back into the lane you're veering off, which I think is quite crazy. There, it's just done it again because I was close to the blue line. It's a yellow line. Okay, so I'm just gonna start the car so that you can actually see the interface lights up, which is quite cool. It looks as though this center console can split open, but it actually can't. It opens one way or the other, and it comes standard with a fridge, which I think is quite crazy. You can see the finish on the center console, the doors, and a bit in the steering has almost like that oak wood feel. The way it feels, I can't see it being real oak. It just feels more plastic, so I don't think that that is 100% real. This car specifically comes standard with 14 JBL speakers around the car, which is more than enough, or you get the option of 10 Pioneer speakers. I assume that a lot of the sound and speakers are to do with the back screens. You've got this massive screen. From what I understand is that the two screens at the back are full HD when this isn't. I'm not 100% sure why that is. I would see that the driver's interface should be a little bit more important than the kids in the back, because they're probably only watching Peppa Pig or something like that, but it is what it is. It's a fact. Peppa Pig doesn't need to be in HD. Does Peppa Pig need to be in HD? The lines are the lines. And that's in comfort mode. That is in and around town mode. You can haul it in and around town mode. It is amazing. I think it's crazy. Not to say that people are going to be driving this car like this, because I wouldn't drive this car like this, but if it's there and you want to use it, if you want to pass somebody, then do that. This is what it feels like. Let's go to sport mode quickly. Sport Plus. This is what it feels like. That is insane for such a big car. That is insane for such a big car. Yeah, definitely an amazing motor. Holy moly. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is seriously crazy. Okay, so we are pulling in back to the rightful owner of this car. And I feel very lucky and privileged to be able to have taken this car out for a drive, because it's not something that you drive every single day, and it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, this is Kelvin and Cars. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will have a new car next week.